All right, we take a look at our matchups today. There's a look at the first 5 matches. Now, it's worth noting, of the 10 weight classes, Ohio State has guys nationally ranked in 9 out of those 10.
Yeah, they're ranked number 4 for a reason. And, you look at these first 5, you got the 2-time national champ Jesse Mendez sitting there at 141. And, you just kind of, when you come into a new part of the country in the Southeast, you just kind of hope people like that put on a show.
12 NCAA qualifiers on this Ohio State roster. Is there, obviously, I think we all want to see Mendez on the mat, but is there a weight class maybe you're most looking forward to?
There's a couple. I want to see Ty Tice again against Brendan McCrone. Tice looked really impressive last week, and, he's kind of fighting for a starting position with Cooper Floyd, being out of the lineup still, and, he wants to show what he's got, and then CJ Liddy, see what he's got against this Ohio State team.
This is the first duel of the season for Ohio State. Chattanooga was involved last weekend as part of a quad. Mocs had some success last week. They were 28-2 in the 30 matches last week.
Yeah, it was great to see him last week come out, be aggressive. Now the key for Coach Rochelle and this team is to have that carry forward to a obviously higher level opponent, and that's kind of what Coach Rochelle wants to see out of his wrestlers today.
So Brendan McCrone, he's ranked number 17 as we get started at 125. McCrone for Ohio State, obviously in the red. And Chattanooga will counter with Ty Tice. Tice 3-0 to start this year, and you see McCrone get in on that single leg, and there's the 3 on the takedown.
Yeah, McCrone got in pretty deep on that single leg and was able to sit Tice down and then put the legs in and put a ride on.
McCrone opened the season last week with a title at the Clarion Open. He went 5-0 last weekend. We talk about Tice going 3-0. McCrone with a 5-0 start.
Yeah, and the big one there was the win over teammate Nick Bouzakis in the finals there in overtime, or a 5-4 win. And a lot of the wrestling community looked at Bouzakis going down, and what's that going to do for Ohio State's lineup? And McCrone said, well, he can come down all he wants, but I'm still the guy here.
McCrone out of Willoughby, Ohio.
Tice catches the ankle, does a good job. Gets that tree top. He wants to get a reversal here because Tice's best position is on top. He's patient and gets the reversal. Now this is where Tice needs to go to work right here. It's very important for him to get on top. This is where his best position is. We saw that last week with those 3 first-period tech falls. Can he get to those same positions against the guy ranked in the top 25? He's got that wing in pretty good right there. He's got to keep it from getting potentially dangerous. He's got to keep that arm going straight across the back. So he's got the wing in pretty tight. He's looking for that tilt from there. He's got to come out to the side. He's wanting to reach under with his left hand and get that reinforced wing and start working a tilt. He's not able to get it, so he's going to start trying to tilt without it. It's a good, tough ride here. Ref keeping a close eye on that wing, make sure it doesn't get potentially dangerous. Now he's right back into that wing. This is where Tice likes to be. He's very, very good on top. He's got that wing in tight. Now he's got it reinforced. He's got the hand locked. McCrone did a good job of breaking that lock and scooting out of bounds.
Chattanooga's Ty Tice, a sophomore out of Taylors, South Carolina. Now 16-25 overall. He's got a 6-15 record in duels.
Big lift there for Tice. Good job by McCrone coming right back up. McCrone looks for a switch position. Now Tice trying to get into that tilt. With 2-on-1, McCrone comes back up. Now Tice has to bring him back down to the mat. He drops into a single leg. Now they're in a neutral position. We got a count going on here because if he stays on that single leg, it's going to be stalling. That's going to stop the riding time at 102. Anytime that you drop down to a single leg from top position for 5 seconds, you're going to get warned for stalling, and it stops riding time. I think that was a good trade-off, though, for Tice, not giving up the escape and being able to hold on to go into the second period, only trailing by 1.
Well, a fast and furious start for these two.
McCrone deferred choice. Tice went down. He's got 1:02 in riding time. He's going to need to try to get that reversal again, just like he did at the first period. McCrone immediately puts the legs in, flattens Tice out, comes to a crossface. Tice completely flat, power half there from McCrone. Crossface now, and it switches off of 2 legs into the 1 leg in on the crossbody, looking for a crossface tilt here. He's got that leg in pretty deep. He's going to be able to stay here for bulk of the period without getting hit for stalling or really coming in any danger or losing control.
He's been able to whittle away at that riding time that Tice had built up in the first period.
Yeah, and that's really key as we move forward in the match. Even if we get, in this period in the same position, McCrone saw exactly what Tice had, and I don't know if he'll go down in the third. He might elect to go back to neutral. Which could cause some problems. Tice sits out, comes back to his base. McCrone's pretty tight on those legs, quad podding up. Somebody with the length that McCrone has, when you quad pod up like that, it's really not too much to break somebody back down flat. And this is where Tice does not want to be. See, Tice is trying to kind of scoot back in the ride there to try to build up a base. But with 5 seconds to go, we're going to end right where we started in this period. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see what McCrone chooses for the third.
McCrone was able to reverse riding time. He sits now with 15 seconds of riding time, and we'll move into the third and final period. Again, Brendan McCrone from Ohio State with a 3-2 advantage over Chattanooga's Ty Tice. I mentioned McCrone getting off to that 5-0 start at the Clarion Open. He won by tech fall and also a major decision in 2 of those. Later won the other 3 by decision, including a 1-0 victory over Marcelo Milani of Cornell.
First move from McCrone is going to be important. Ty needs to stop it. He goes immediately into that chop to the near side, looking for that 2-on-1 or that wing for a tilt. Now, if Tice can ride him out, he'll get that riding time up and potentially tie it, but riding somebody like McCrone for 2 minutes is a pretty tall task. Tice lowered his level, but he didn't have any penetration on that shot. And you can see his arm kind of flailing for a leg to grab a hold of, so he didn't get into danger. Luckily, McCrone was backing out so he could come back up to his feet. But he's got to get more penetration on that shot. There he gets deep, gets into it. Now he's got to be able to finish from there. He's ducking. He needs to duck under that head. Crotch lift from McCrone. They roll all the way through. Tice has got to build height from down there. Can't get extended. McCrone's got that far ankle, and now he wants to try to hang on for a stalemate because now he's in a rough spot. McCrone's so long, able to grab that far ankle. He's cross-facing. If he breaks that grip on the single leg, Tice is still trying to build, but he's got to build height from this position. McCrone just keeps sitting around. Now we're waiting, looking for a stalemate.
There it comes with 35 seconds left in period 3. McCrone with a 4-2 lead over Tice.
He needs to have one of those quick takedowns. He can't get into a long scramble here. He's got to go in and out and finish right away, which is tough to do with somebody the length of McCrone. A lot of pushing and pulling and snapping. Under 20, he's going to have to fire something off quick. McCrone can just back straight up to the line and dive out of bounds. Now he's in that drape position. He steps over, but he's not going to have enough time to finish from there.
That's it. That's the way it comes to a close. Tice made it interesting late, but ran out of clock. 4-2 the win.
And you know that's a great result for Tice. Obviously, he wants to win the match, but he was in the match against a kid ranked 17th in the country, and that's exactly the type of things that Coach Rochelle wanted to see out of his wrestlers today.
So we move on now to 133. Ben Davino, redshirt freshman from Elgin, Illinois. He's ranked number 9 in the latest rankings, and he'll square off against Chattanooga's Ethan Lipsy. Lipsy, the redshirt sophomore, a local product. Went to Bradley Central High School. That's just about 30 minutes up I-75 from downtown Chattanooga.
Davino's got a lot of energy. He's going to keep coming forward. He's going to keep attacking. Davino with that Russian goes into a low-level attack. Lipsy's in the split, trying to hand fight to get his leg back. Davino just going to keep elevating. He's going to lift it up, put it on his shelf there. Start working towards that far ankle with his left hand now. Lipsy's got that Russian in. He comes up and sits him back down for the takedown. Very similar to the takedown that McCrone got on Tice in the first period of the last match. Running that claw tilt. Looks like he's going to cut him up. Switch off to a Russian, waiting for Lipsy to stand and face.
And there's the escape. It's 3-1.
And Davino's going to keep coming forward. He's going to keep attacking. Collar tie. Lipsy trying to get a snap. Davino still going forward. Russian straight into a go behind. No points until he gets down to the mat. Lipsy rolls through, which gives him no takedown. Good job by Lipsy there, diving through on that ankle to the ankle for going towards the leg pass, but really just trying to get him out of bounds without getting hit for stalling.
Davino went 5-0 last week at the Clarion Open. He won 3 by tech fall. Impressive weekend for him.
In on that shot again. Lipsy's got a whizzer. Davino's got it shelved. Watch him kind of start to come up, and then he's going to try to sit him back again. Right there it is for the takedown. Less than a minute to go here in the first. Looks like he's probably going to try to ride out the period on top. Got a wing on the far side. Now he lets go of that. Leg in, got him completely flat. Every time Lipsy tries to base up, he's just taking out his post and bringing him back down to his belly. It's like Davino's trying to dig in the other leg. Now he's got his legs out, so Lipsy's can start trying to base up.
Final few seconds of this first period and a 6-1 start for Ben Davino.
Yeah, he's controlling that right arm of Lipsy when he was down in the bottom position there. Lipsy, every time he tried to come up to his base, he just kept taking the posts out. Lipsy's going to defer to the second period, and Davino's going to take down.
You know, we've been in this building before for events, wrestling events like this, Travis, and obviously this is where the Southern Scuffle takes place, but just the atmosphere of being in here, so much different than being across the street at McClellan Gym, which is where Chattanooga normally competes.
There's just something about the lights being out.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. There's a great shot by Davino, just a straight pulling on the shoulders, in on the single. Sits him back. Lipsy had to pretty much bail there because if he didn't, he would have been giving up near fall. But yeah, being in this arena, you know, it's bigger, it's more spacious. You got the lights out, you got people surrounding the mats. Everybody's just kind of closer, and it does. It's just a great environment for wrestling.
10-2 our score.
Lipsy with a kind of a half-hearted attempt at an attack there. He lowered his level but didn't really penetrate and just kind of waved at the legs. Ankle pick there for Davino for another takedown, and now he's getting close to that tech fall. Going to try to get it here in the second period. He comes up and faces. Straight on double by Lipsy, doesn't clear any of the defenses by Davino, and so he goes nowhere on that shot. Watch Davino's action with his hands. He's a lot of pressure. He's going to start moving Lipsy around before he fires off a shot here in the last 30 seconds. Snap down, just a straight go behind. Now Lipsy will have choice in the third. Davino's going to just try to ride this out for the last 10 seconds or so. He's got a 2-on-1, keeping that tight. Now looking for a tilt on that 2-on-1.
If you're Davino now, Travis, the thought has to go to how can I end this thing in a tech fall, right? With a 16-3 lead.
Yeah, it's really. He's just going to depend on what Lipsy does for choice. Lipsy goes down, Davino's going to cut him and go for a takedown to end it. There's an optional start. Lipsy's taking his time. Doesn't want to get caught in something weird that might put him on his back and give up a pin. Just straight little snap down. Looking for a spin. He's got that right arm of Lipsy's kind of blocked off. Underhook on the far side. Looks for a dump. Gets the takedown.
19-4, that is the tech fall victory for Ben Davino.
Your winner at 133.
Yeah, he's got this underhook here, just kind of a little throw by. Lipsy's got to give up the takedown so he doesn't go to his back.
8-0 all-time national champion, two-time defending national champion. At 141 pounds, the senior from Crown Point, Indiana. And Chattanooga will send out Hunter Mason to work against Mendez.
Yeah, Mason's going to want to start this off and try to just slow Mendez down. Mendez had one of the most exciting finals matches last year, and he can score points in a hurry. And so it'll be in Hunter's best interest to try to slow this down as much as he can here at the start. Goes for a high C, blocked off by Mendez. Right back up to his feet. Mendez is going to control the circle with that underhook. Open up opportunities, and he can go high amplitude and pretty much do it all. There's a little duck under, keeps the far arm, and gets a takedown. Now he's gonna a little dirty cut there. Mason's gonna come up. Mendez right back into a single leg. Great job there by Mason, getting his foot down on the mat, backing out. Mendez is backed him right up to the edge. Good job by Mason turning it and going out. No stalling there. Action call back to the center, but just keep an eye on Mendez. He's gonna dig those underhooks. Good job by Mason getting in deep to the leg. Whizzer attempt by Mendez right into that underhook on the other side. You definitely don't want to push too much. Mendez gets hit for stalling to the delight of the Chattanooga fans everywhere. There's Mendez with that underhook. You see him just punching it in there. Everything he does is off of that underhook. There's a shot, go behind for Mendez, and he's able to get the takedown. Mason's wanting the brick toss. I think Coach Rochelle wants to save that for later. Optional for Mendez. You notice those guys when they're in optional start, they don't just pop up, fire up like you'll see in high school matches or whatever, because these guys have gotten so many different things that they can do from there to put you in a trouble in a hurry. Ooh. Body lock here from Mason. Mendez is going to block it off. Mendez tries to throw it by, does that little flurry, it saves another stall call. Just a little snap to a shot. Go by, just constant motion there for Mendez. He's got that underhook back on the ankle, circles behind for the takedown. Minute to go in the period. He's going to try to get another. Mason turns and faces. Right on the edge. Get an action call. Good job by the official there. The action took him to the side. Then the escape came. No need to ding somebody there. Big snap from Mendez. Right to the underhook and into a knee tap. He's got so many different weapons, so much offense from that underhook. And the thing that kind of separates him from so many other guys that wrestle out of an underhook is he can do it from either side. He gets an underhook on the left side, right side, it doesn't matter for him. He's gonna be running his offense.
Ten seconds.
Mendez just going to try to ride this out, keeping that toe inbounds, work the head a little bit. He's going to have choice, probably go neutral, look for this tech on one takedown. No. Mendez defers. Mason's going to go down.
Mendez, a three-time All-American, two-time defending national champion. He opened up his season at the NWCA All-Star Championship against sixth-ranked Anthony Echemendia of Iowa State. Mendez won that match 7-3, so he's already got a top 10 victory under his belt.
And that was against a former teammate. Was at Ohio State and transferred to Iowa State. Mason in on a pretty good shot right there. Mendez is crowding the hips, trying to pinch. Mason's pulling that in, trying to come up with it. Mendez is trying to extend. Now he's in that whizzer position. In the circle to face. Come up, and they're out of bounds.
Minute 20 left in the second period. Mason, a transfer to Chattanooga, his first year with the Mocs, coming over from Virginia Tech. He was 21-14 in 2 seasons as a Hokie.
Mendez drops in on a straight double, cuts and finishes. And that's why when you're getting cut, you get up slowly. If you turn and face, you start worrying about getting underhooks and thrown. Mason trying for a leg attack there. Now he's got that body lock. A little bit of an over-under position. Mendez is generally pretty comfortable here. Ducks through, gets the takedown for the tech. Oh, no, not yet. Mendez still in control. Drops in on that double leg. And then that.
There it is.
Yeah.
So Mendez wins by tech fall, 21-6.
Your winner, 141, Jesse Mendez.
And Ohio State stretches out that lead. It's now 13-0 over the Mocs. And we move on to 149 pounds. Daxton Chase will head to the mat for Ohio State. He'll take on Billy Meisner of Chattanooga.
Chase was a late add to the lineup.
Redshirt freshman from Marion, Ohio.
Meisner started out a little bit slow last weekend, but came on pretty good as the day went on.
Meisner from Orland Park, Illinois. Another transfer, one of many on this Chattanooga roster. Meisner, much like Hunter Mason, came to Chattanooga in the summer. He joined the Mocs after spending 2 years at Kent State. And Daxton Chase, by the way, is the only wrestler in the lineup today for Ohio State not ranked in the top 20.
Meisner's doing a good job of moving forward. Hasn't used that forward pressure for any offensive attacks yet. Big snap there. Trying to get to that tie so he can go for his throw by. There's a little bit more action. After that throw by, I need to keep snapping, try to drop into a front headlock. Kind of lowers his level and reaches out for the legs. Again, similar story to what we saw a little bit last weekend. Got to have that penetration to get to the legs. Meisner does a good job in these collar ties, throw bys, and arm drags. Opening things up. He just needs to put a couple of them together. He got Chase off balance there, but then he didn't finish it up with any kind of leg attack.
Chase is 2-2 on this year. He lost to Jackson Butler, who was wrestling independent. He also lost to Maddox Shaw, who is also on the roster at Ohio State. Did score a tech fall win over Michael Kersey of Clarion, but again, a 2-2 mark.
Good job by Meisner there. Staying in position on that little misdirection duck. Reaches for an ankle pick. Big snap. Now he needs to go behind. He's got it, and he's got to return him to the mat. He's got to get that leg free. Get his hips up to get the takedown. And that's going to have a little discussion there. And there's the takedown. Great job by the officials there. That's exactly what, right into the snap down, just go behind. Now he's got to return to the mat. Chase dives for the ankles, can't get it. With him being on his hip there, as soon as we come up right there, he's got his control right now. He's down on the hip, there's the control. Great job by second official, Evan Burchett coming in there. having the discussion and getting the takedown.
1 point on the escape. That makes it 4-0.
That's Meisner needs to go back to that, what he did at the end of the first. A lot of snaps and a lot of go-behinds there. He's got the length to get around. A little bit cleaner on his finish on the mat return. A lot of pushing. Here comes another snap. Drops down to a single, and he has to come up. He needs to come up. Don't sit down there with it. He comes up. Whizzer position for Chase, looking for that little whizzer tilt. Good job keeping long there for Meisner so he doesn't get into that little tilt. He needs to come all the way up with it. If he can stand up, limp arm out with his right hand. Chase has got that whizzer and just tight, cutting off for the double. Now he reaches across with his right hand, gonna get the takedown here in just a second. There it is. And they go out of bounds. Meisner's got in on that single, tries to sit him back. Chase does a good job, and then Meisner with his long arms is able to reach across to the far hip, drops down to both legs, and that's where the takedown comes in with that pressure on the forward hands. And a little bit of blood cleanup going on right now.
This marks the 11th all-time meeting between Chattanooga and Ohio State. They met for the first time back on February the 10th, 1989. They battled to a tie that day at 18-18. And Ohio State has gone on to win 6 of the next 9 matchups. Chattanooga won in 2004, 2006, and 2007. This is the 4th trip all-time for Ohio State to the Scenic City. Chattanooga 2-1 against the Buckeyes on their home mat. 28 seconds left in this second period.
It's important for Meisner to put forth a big ride right here. Finish this period on top. Now he's got that leg in underneath both arms. He's got to make sure he doesn't lock hands there, but should be able to stay tight for the next 4 seconds to get the ride out.
A 7-0 lead for Chattanooga's Billy Meisner as we go to the third period in the final 2 minutes here.
All right, Chase is going to go down. To see Meisner try to ride him as long as he can here. Quad pod for Chase, drops back down. Got wrist control. Meisner doing a good job of tangling up that back ankle. But Chase has got that wrist control. Meisner sits him down. Now puts a leg in. Just continually looking to which post to take out. Quad pod here for Chase. Meisner's on top trying to stretch him out. He's got to be careful on top that he doesn't get too far forward and come over the top. He's pulling those hands out, but Chase has got a pretty good base with his legs. Chase trying to pull Meisner over the top. Good job there for Meisner to hang on for that stalemate.
Meisner has built up now 1:18 and climbing of ride time.
Meisner gets that leg in. Chase tried to kind of Granby out, front somersault. Gets Meisner a little bit loose, so now he can pull that ankle out. Meisner does a good job of kicking out to the escape. Chase in deep on a shot. Now this is where Meisner needs to use that length. He needs to bounce it a couple of times. Now he's backing out. Get out of those underhooks. Throw would be a lot of damage right here, so it's one for stalling. That's, neither here nor there. Stayed safe. Didn't give up any big points because that's really all that can hurt him right now. Great job. I was just about ready to say Meisner can't just sit back on this. He needs to re-attack off of those attacks because Chase is going to make a mistake. He got overextended on that shot. Meisner was able to kind of throw it through and then get the takedown.
Routing time locked in, so Billy Meisner on his way to a major decision.
He's going to get it.
Billy Meisner with the major decision victory over Daxton Chase.
I love that last takedown. Absolutely love that last takedown. If you heard Coach Rochelle over in the corner, he said, don't give an inch, don't give an inch. And he was able to capitalize on that shot by Chase to get the takedown and secure the major decision. Right there it was, just a little using his momentum, backing out right into that knee tap for the takedown.
So at 157, Landon DeSalle, a redshirt freshman, he is also not ranked for Ohio State, so they're actually 2 out of this lineup of 10 that are not nationally ranked for the Buckeyes. He'll face C.J. Liddy of Chattanooga. DeSalle, a redshirt freshman again. He's from Spring Hill, Tennessee. Off to a 3-1 start, went 3-1 at the Clarion Open.
Liddy right into that whizzer on the single leg by DeSalle. He's trying to get that ankle out. Now he needs to turn and face, but keep that whizzer tight. He's got a hold of DeSalle's wrist. DeSalle's trying to bring him back in bounds to have an opportunity to finish the takedown. Now he's got him sitting up. He needs to be careful right here. Liddy trying to go back over. His knee is not designed to bend that way. Now he's looking for that tilt from there. Great job by Liddy being able to take that out of bounds without getting hit by a stall. After last week, I'm really excited to see what Liddy can do on top. Re-attack there by DeSalle, right back into that same position. Liddy's got the whizzer on the left with his left. Going into the split. DeSalle wants to try to bring him back towards the center and keep that knee kind of locked out. Tries to limp arm. Now he's out of the whizzer. Liddy goes back into it. Keeping that foot back. Goes off the mat. His right foot, right toe went off the mat there, so that's automatically going to stop it. He didn't reach for it, so it's not a stall or a flea.
C.J. Liddy 3-0 to start this season. He won with 2 tech falls and a pin last weekend.
Now he's got that tilt in, that whizzer tilt. He's going to get it, and he's going to get some near fall. He got the 4 count. That's what he was trying to get over here on the side of the mat. But if he would have went that way with it, they would have went out of bounds, so he wouldn't have gotten it. So this time, in the center of the mat, he's able to go through with it and get the full boat 7-point takedown. Now this is where Liddy went to work last week. All those tech falls and everything was from the top position. Saw the ref make a count there. That's because he dropped down to the legs, below the hip. Liddy wants to just ride this out without a restart into the second period. Well, that was fun. You could see Liddy working on that over here out of bounds. This time when he gets in, he's got the room to work with it. He's got the whizzer in, he grabs his own shin, and then he kicks his leg all the way over. And once you clear the head, you're gonna get the takedown and then start getting the near fall points. Right up to his feet. Now he's gotta attack the hands. Coach Rochelle wanting an illegal cut back there. I think it was because DeSalle didn't leave his feet, but it is definitely something that he's now put in the officials' minds for next time you come up. Cradle here for DeSalle. That's pretty tight. Liddy's got to make himself wide and long here to not go back with it. Attacks the far ankle. He's got his hand out, but he's going to be getting up the near fall. That is a tight grip.
And the pin.
And gets the pin. I thought Liddy was gonna be able to get out with that when he reached across and grabbed he reaches across right here and grabs the left ankle of DeSalle. Right there. And I thought he was going to be able to get out, but DeSalle was able to come back through. And then it's just that grip is so tight, it's just a matter of time for those shoulders to go down.
We'll give you a recap of the first 5-pound weight class. Patty Gallagher, he's ranked number 12 in the nation against Mason Renich of Chattanooga. Renich, a local product, originally from Soddy Daisy near Chattanooga. He wrestled at the Baylor School in high school. As a matter of fact, had a tremendous high school career there, was a 3-time state champion, and has spent the last several years at Oregon State. And he decided to make the transfer, come back closer to home to spend his senior year. And he's in trouble here early.
Yeah, he had that underhook and was kind of pushing forward, and Gallagher just dropped into a high C, kept a hold of the arm, and pretty much dumped him down, got the takedown and a couple of back points. This is one of those matches for Renich where you're wrestling against obviously a guy ranked inside the top 15, but this is where you can build some criteria if you want to have hopes of making an at-large berth at the NCAA tournament or getting a decent seed if he ends up winning SoCons and qualifies automatic bid. So this is kind of a big early season match for Renich.
Gallagher won the 165 bracket at the Clarion Open last weekend. He made the move to 165 last year at Ohio State. He had battled through some injuries much of the year. Qualified for the NCAA championships as a number 26 seed after he finished 7th at the Big Ten championships.
Big straight-on double there by Gallagher. Just kind of shows you his explosiveness. Renich did a good job of getting that underhook in and kind of fending that off, standing Gallagher up. Going down early, 5-0. This is, you just kind of have to chip away that lead if you're Renich. A takedown here and a ride out brings him within 1 as we head into the later periods. But, getting through Gallagher's defense is easier said than done. A little bit less pushing out of Renich right now than what he started the match off with. That got him into trouble. Tries to do a little throw by there with an underhook on the right. Gallagher heavy on the head, big snaps. could play a factor later in the match. Nice straight single leg. Renich dives for the ankle. Gallagher is expecting it. It's funny watching how much wrestling's evolved. 6 or 7 years ago, guys would do that, and you'd have a lengthy scramble. But now they evolved into anticipating it, being ready for it to go, and being able to counter it, in real time as it's happening. As you saw there, you wouldn't have seen that kind of a counter 5 or 6 years ago. It would have been a extended scramble and probably a stalemate.
First period coming to a close, and an 8-1 lead for Paddy Gallagher.
Renich got to his feet, didn't have any kind of wrist control at all, so enabled Gallagher to just kind of stay behind, make himself look a little busy so he didn't get hit for stalling right at the end of the period. Quad pod up to his feet. This time he has the wrist. He's able to get the escape. Big snap for Gallagher. Renich circles out of it, back up. Arm drag. Good defense there by Renich. Backs Gallagher up to the edge. Another shot. The time Gallagher didn't clear anything, so it's easily defended by Renich. Big double leg. Great job by Renich to fend that off. Usually somebody gets in that deep, they're going to get the takedown. And that takedown was similar to the second one that Gallagher got. He was in on that single. Renich immediately dove for the ankles. Gallagher was expecting it, just let Renich roll all the way through and then landed on top for the takedown. He goes in on the shot, gets the leg up immediately. Renich goes. Gallagher does a good job of keeping those ankles back so that Renich has nothing to get a hold of, and as soon as he finishes the little somersault, Gallagher's able to collect the legs and get the takedown. Gallagher goes optional, gives up the escape. Renich got that underhook on the right. Carshula keeps getting out of an ankle pick there. Sits him down. Gets the takedown. Renich quad podding up. Gallagher's trying to keep the lock. Cannot, so Renich is able to get the escape. It's important here that Renich doesn't give up any points here the last 15 seconds or so of this period. Good job by Renich, circling himself back in.
To the third period and a 14-4 lead for Paddy Gallagher.
Gallagher takes neutral. You get a 10-point lead after 2 periods, not having gone down. Generally, good idea to go neutral. It's 2 takedowns away from getting a tech. Big snap for Gallagher there. Renich trying to dig that underhook on the right. Same thing right into the high C. You saw Gallagher swim to try to catch that arm to dump him to his back like he did with the first takedown. Renich kept his arm away, kept his elbow away. A little chest wrap here, trying to elevate or roll Gallagher through. Still no takedown yet. He's only got the one leg. Renich looks like he's just kind of hanging on for a stalemate here. But as soon as Gallagher's able to get that arm around the waist, he's going to get the takedown.
So one more takedown away from a tech fall win for Patty Gallagher. With 1:06 remaining in the final period.
Gallagher's going to give him the escape. Goes to that underhook again. Straight on double for Gallagher. Renish is draped over the top. Gallagher's just going to try to get a hold of that ankle with his left hand there. Potentially look for a stalemate here. Driving forward again. That's where he needs to watch out for that high C. Straight on shot. Good job by Renish to sprawl out of it. Renish takes a shot of his own. .20 seconds to go here. Straight on double. Wizard position for Renish. Now switches to a single. Inside trip. Ties up the legs and gets the takedown for the Tech.
Get a look at it for a final time on the replay.
Your winner at 165.
Yeah, he switched off from the double leg to a single leg, goes for the little trip, and on the way down, wraps up both legs to secure the takedown.
That makes it 24-4, Ohio State, with a lead over Chattanooga. Carson Hartslaw, who is ranked number 10 for Ohio State, will take on Chattanooga's Camden Monroe. Monroe checks in at number 31. Monroe went 3-0 last weekend.
Yeah, big test for Camden right here. Hartslaw, he is tough. He is solid, one of the anchors of the Ohio State lineup. And he is quick and explosive, and he's got a whole arsenal. Double leg, gets his head out, comes across for the takedown pretty quick.
Hartslaw seeing his first mat action of the year. Finished 4th last year in the Big Ten tournament. Was a number 9 seed in the NCAA championships. Missed the majority of the 23-24 year with an injury.
Just a simple little dump there from underneath for Hartslaw for the second takedown. He's up on his feet. He's got wrist control. He's trying to break free. A lot of movement out of Hartslaw. Goes into the single leg. Cam does a good job getting that foot out. Short offense into a front headlock. Hartslaw does a good job continuing to circle and face. Stay out of trouble. It's just so powerful. And when he pulls the trigger for an offensive attack, it's tough to stop. Cam did a good job getting that foot out to get back to their feet. Same thing, that kind of dives down. He's reaching for that other leg. Camden's trying to circle around, but as he does, he leaves his trail leg behind, which enables Hartslaw to snag it up to get the third takedown.
We've still got 1:14 left in this first period. 9-3. Hartslaw with a lead.
He's gotten 3 takedowns from distance, so Monroe might want to try switching it up a little bit, get in a little closer, try to work from ties. There he gets that underhook in. Hartslaw goes straight into a high C, gets in deep, lifts, sits Camden down. He's got Monroe down on that hip. Broken down pretty flat. Monroe needs to work to base up as he does. Hartzler takes out his posts. Heavy forward pressure there. On top by Hartzler.
12-3 at the end of the first period.
He's going to take bottom. Let's see Monroe go for broke here, try to lock up that cradle that I've seen him hit a few times. But he's going to have to stop the first move. Quad podding up for Hartzler. Now he sits him back down, looking for that wrist control, turns in. Camden has no choice but to really bail there. Something that powerful is not supposed to be so quick. Posting on the forehead there for Hartzler. Cam tries to take a shot, re-attack for Hartzler, and Cam steps out of it. Another shot there. Sits Cam down, gets the takedown. He's got Cam kind of tied up in almost like a Navy ride there. So we're going out of bounds here.
16-4 with 50 seconds left in the second period.
Carson's in deep. Cam's trying to crotch lift. He's got to lift. See Hartzler keeping those legs long and straight, making himself difficult to get off the mat. Now he attacks the inside leg of Cam. He's trying to rotate that arm up and around. If his left arm goes to the waist, he'll get this takedown here in a second. There it is.
And that will end it with 23 seconds left in period 2. And a tech fall victory for Carson Hartzler over Chattanooga's Camden Monroe.
At 184 for Ohio State, Dylan Fishback. And at 184 for the month, Lyndon Jones.
29-4 Ohio State with a lead over Chattanooga. We move to 184 now. Dylan Fishback, ranked number 7 against Landon Jones from UTC. Fishback, a junior from Aurora, Ohio. He got his year off to a solid start, went 4-0 at the Clarion Open, including 2 tech fall victories.
Sweep single attempt. He's able to chase down Jones's hips to get the takedown. Jones trying to come up. Knee slide now, gets to his feet, doesn't really have the wrist. It's brought back down, tries to switch, right back up to his feet. Doing a good job of not staying down there in referee's position. Just needs to get a better grip on wrist control when he comes up so he can peel out. Fishback's gonna elect to let him up. And we talked last weekend after Jones's 3 matches about how he was going forward, he's going forward. What do we want to see out of him? Well, this is kind of where we get to see. He's wrestling a top 10 ranked guy. Is he going to continue that aggression moving forward, and is he going to be able to control it to where he doesn't put himself into danger by being overly aggressive? Big shot, deep shot for Fishback, gets in, easily wraps up both legs to get the takedown.
Landon Jones, he's 3-0. Impressive start to his year. Last week, he wrestled at 174 a season ago. He's moved up to 184. As at one time last year, because of injuries, he went from 174 to 197 and moved up 2 weight classes.
Yeah, and that's tough to do at the college level, especially, sometimes you can build up to that, but Jones isn't super tall for the weight at 74, so that's really hard at 97. Fishback with another kind of push-pull, drops down to the single leg, is able to get the takedown pretty quick. 3 takedowns so far in the first minute and a half of the first period. Probably cut him and try to get one more here in this period. There he goes, going to let him up. Jones has been active. He just hasn't been able to corral Fishback long enough to set anything up. Fishback's constant motion, moving his feet, dives in deep for the single. Jones, it's one leg out. Now he just needs to hold on here and see. Essentially, you're just seeing what Fishback's going to do with you. That's how you determine where you're going to go from there. Fishback sets him down slow, steps over the leg, and gets the takedown. It's got him pretty flat here. Jones building up that base. Looks like Fishback's going to try to ride out the rest of the period here. Jones gets up to his feet. Doesn't have a wrist control at all, so Fishback escorts him out of bounds for a restart. Jones back up to his feet, right into a tilt for Fishback. It's pretty tight. He's going to get the full set there. Turns him back down. Now Fishback's just going to ride this period out.
And a high-scoring first period for Dylan Fishback. A 16-3 lead over Chattanooga's Landon Jones.
Jones elects to go neutral here to start the second period. His feet are just kind of stationary, so his Fishback is constantly moving his feet.
It's a tough position, isn't it, Travis? You got to get some offense going, but at the same time, you can't leave yourself open too much.
Right, yeah, and that's, it's like we said at the opening here, these guys are ranked high for a reason. And, Fishback's number 7 in the country for a reason. And we're seeing it here. We watched Jones get his offense going last week. And this week he's just been kind of stalled out. Every time he tries to go forward, he leaves himself vulnerable and ends up giving up the takedown, which, this early in the season gives Coach Rochelle and the coaching staff, Coach Massey and the likes to be able to, look at film, watch what it is that Jones is doing or what is he not doing in this match that we saw him doing last week. The first thing is he needs to move his feet. He's got to keep his feet moving. He can't be so stationary because he leaves himself open for those leg attacks, and Fishback's been exploiting it the whole time. Gets in deep, gets the takedown.
And that will do it. Back-to-back Tech Fall victories. Dylan Fishback over Landon Jones. And Ohio State continues to stretch out that lead, 34-4. The Buckeyes in front will retain number 15 in the country, going up against Chattanooga's Cade Rule. Geog, a redshirt sophomore, who went a perfect 5-0 last weekend at the Clarion Open. And for Cade Rule, getting his first opportunity as a true freshman to wrestle in front of the home crowd. But he is a guy that I know the coaching staff at Chattanooga really, really high on what they think Cade Rule can turn into.
Yeah, Coach Rochelle was talking to me about him last week, when he was up wrestling at the Southeastern Open. He's really excited about him. Obviously, probably, your first match, you're going to have those first match jitters. You're really going to have them when your first match is against the number 4 team in the country. So he gives up that first takedown, kind of took a half shot and gave up the go behind. Took Giag a little while to get around behind him. Now Giag goes in on the shot, but he's got a hold of that elbow. And Rule does a good job of kind of bailing out, giving up the takedown there so he didn't go to his back. But Giag's got the 2-on-1 there. Goes in for a tilt there. Rule keeping his hips turned so that he doesn't go over to his back, but he still hasn't gotten rid of the 2-on-1 yet. Now, Giag's got the leg in and the 2-on-1. Needs to elevate Rule's legs just a little bit more to try to get that shoulder turn. There's the turn. Only gets a 2 count. Those won't be awarded until he lets go of the wrist, which he does there. And so now he's got a couple of takedowns and a couple of near fall for Giag. Putting on a tough ride.
Cade Rule from Mineral Point, Wisconsin. He was a back-to-back state champion in high school at 165 and also 175. Top 30 wrestler in the state of Wisconsin. A little bit of a baptism by fire, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a tough spot to go into. But, this is where you see, what you've got, what you're made of. Does it, if he comes out here and, lights up the scoreboard, now you start considering, do we take the red shirt off? Do we, it opens up a lot of doors. So it's, it's good for Coach Rochelle to be able to, see exactly where we are in the progression of the young wrestler, to see, kind of how you want to go forward with the season for Cade Rule there. He does a good job there getting on the sprawl. You should see him start to kind of relax into the match a little bit more as time goes on and realize, it's still just wrestling. As my friends have said, he takes a shot there, but instead of getting penetration, he's just dropping straight down, and that enables a sprawl and a go behind, and then gets to a single and sits him down. One of the toughest transitions for these wrestlers coming from high school into college is that bottom wrestling, getting out, getting your escapes, not getting ridden for too long. Giag's going to go down here.
(11-2) at the end of the first period. Giag had worked up 1 minute and 15 seconds of riding time.
Big switch there from Giag. Gets the separation, cuts away for the escape. Just a little snap. Just controlling Rule's head and gets the takedown. And a lot of that's right there is just size. You said Rule was a 175-pounder last year. Now, as a freshman in college, he's wrestling 197 against the top 15 ranked guy. And you can just see the experience and the size factor. Giag with that last takedown. Deep shot there from Rule. That was very nice. Now he needs to rotate that right arm out around the waist. It's trapped right now by the leg. He keeps trying to get that arm out. He eventually does and gets the takedown. That's what you want to see right there. Now let's try to build on that confidence. Let's get a little bit of a ride in. Maybe get another takedown later on in the period or in the next period.
Down to 45 seconds in period 2. That riding time for Geog beginning to disappear now. It's down under a minute after being up around a minute 15 or more earlier in this period.
Rule's doing a good job keeping Geog broken down flat. There's a stall call. Rule's got a tight waist, driving forward, trying to come over that left arm of Geog. Maybe looking for a tilt. Now he goes to a crossface. He's got that shoulder bent under. I don't know if he's going for a cradle from here. Posting up behind the leg, but he's got that crossface tight on the tricep. Runs out of time. But good end of the second period there for Rule. Coach Rochelle looks over the corner. Coach Rochelle tells him to go neutral. He's got a stall call. He needs to build on that last takedown. Moving forward. The difference between that last takedown and his earlier attempts is he got penetration. Not as much penetration there. Didn't have as much of a setup there. Geog counterattacks. Rule drops back into that Russian. Seen this a couple of times today. Geog's going to try to sit him down. Now he's reaching. Rule's got to be careful not to let that arm get across his waist, because that's when the takedown's going to come. Keep that leg extended. Good job getting out of bounds. Coach Ryan up in the corner, giving some instruction. Deep shot there, cutting across. If he can break the grip in the crotch, he's got a chance of getting the takedown. He needs to step over with his left, step over the legs with his left leg. And he should be able to get the takedown. There it is. Another takedown. Big takedown there for Rule. Geog's going to kind of hang flat. Rule's going to cut him. Geog's getting a little tired here. If I'm Rule, I'm going right back to that high C again. But he's got to set it up. He can't just dive in at it. Geog's keeping his right leg back. That's the leg that Rule's been attacking on that high C. He's going to stay on the corner. Rule should just shoot him out right now. Gets in on that single. Geog's in a drape position. And try to sit him down with that leg. He needs to step over Geog's right leg with his right leg. Steps out. Gets another takedown.
Final few seconds left. But Cade Rule gives the Chattanooga fans something to cheer about.
Gives Coach Rochelle something to think about. That was a pretty good back half of the match there for Rule. You could kind of see settled in a little bit, got a little bit of confidence, started firing off those shots, and he really did kind of take it to Geog and get him, to gas a little bit. It's part of the strategy. It's part of what makes up a wrestler.
And here we go with the heavyweights. That is Nick Feldman. He is number 6 in the nation, and he'll face off against Chattanooga's Ethan Vergara. Feldman, a Pennsylvania native, won the Clarion Open last week with 2 tech falls. Finished number 5 in the Big Ten Championships last year.
Deep shot there by Feldman. Good job by Ethan to kind of stonewall him. Feldman just constant motion, gets in on the single and sits him down for the takedown.
Vergara, a Florida native. Was a training partner with Team Puerto Rico for the 2024 Summer Olympics.
Feldman, super powerful, super quick. Great shots. Stays active.
Vergara went 3-0 last weekend as Chattanooga got action underway.
Tries to dig in that underhook, and Feldman just snaps him. They break free. Feldman immediately in on a shot, and then disappears out from underneath Vergara and comes out the other side and gets the takedown. Tight ride, they go out of bounds. Feldman's going to go optional start here. Vergara's going to turn in. Comes up to his feet, immediately in on a double leg for another takedown. Vergara builds up. Quad pod gets his escape. Right back to the double leg from Feldman. Vergara does a good job of fighting it off, goes for a re-attack, and Feldman keeps his legs back and spins behind for another takedown. Vergara's pretty flat here. Feldman's working those wrists. Looks like he's going to post ahead and come back out again. Watch the double leg here. There it is. Sits Vergara down. This time he's got a Turk, so he's going to probably get near fall. He's got to elevate the Turk, cross face to the shoulder, and then elevate the Turk with his hand or with his back leg.
There's the 4.
Feldman's just trying to reset, get that grip. He's going to get that back leg. Vergara does a good job rolling through, but that'll do it.
Yeah. 4 points on the near fall, 22-5. Nick Feldman with a victory, and that will do it for Chattanooga today. 42-4, your final. Ohio State, the winner. Get a look at how it all unfolded today here inside Chattanooga's McKenzie Arena. As the Mocs were able to pick up a win with Billy Meisner at 149 today. We saw the freshman in Cade Rule make it exciting at 197 as you get a look at those results from today. And of course, Jesse Mendez with a Tech Fall win at 141. Extremely impressive.
Yeah, Mendez, you know, he's a national champ for a reason, and he came in here and showed us exactly what he can do, and he was impressive to see. But, you know, Billy Meisner coming in, you know, when you look at him last week and then he comes in this week and gets the only major decision win, I was really, really happy for him and really excited to see how he wrestled in that first half of the match. And then CJ Liddy, you know, he got that big lead opening up and just couldn't hang on.
You take a look at the way things finished over the final. Again, I think what we saw from Cade Rule, even in a loss, you said it, Kyle Rochelle, Chattanooga's head coach, he's got a lot to think about now with the way that freshman performed.
Yeah, you knew what Ohio State was going to bring in that back half of the matches. You know, 3 guys ranked in the top 10, and you know, they performed how they're supposed to, 4 Tech Falls, but you really got to have a bright spot there with Cade Rule, true freshman coming out, not getting down on himself, getting those 2 late takedowns and making it an interesting match.
And there you have it, Ohio State, a 42-4 win. For Travis Gerard, I'm Chris Goforth saying so long from the McKenzie Arena. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.